YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? How y'all feeling? So this past Monday, Lil Baby said, "I'd rather be caught with it than without it." Yeah, so if you haven't heard, Little Baby was arrested on charges of possession of an illegal firearm and not having a permit to carry. This arrest happened in Las Vegas. We are going to dig into some of those details. But before we do that, I want y'all to start this video off with a like and hit that subscribe button. And I'll explain later on in the video why it's so important and why I'm asking you to do it. All right. So yeah. Now, if I say the baby throughout this video, because you got Little Baby, you got the baby, you got baby, the original baby, the hot boy baby. Like it's too many. Is so if I misspeak his name, forgive me. But yeah, the baby was Little Baby was arrested in um Vegas for a handgun charge and not having a carry permit. Now, how the situation was supposed to have unfolded was he was out at some nightclub. Somebody witnessed Little Baby being passed a handgun. They notified authorities. Authorities came out. They checked the cameras. They seen who it was, and they arrested him. Now he was arrested and do have a $5,000 bail. Which I'm sure, let's be real about it, we talking about Lil Baby, so he probably bought $5,000 in ones to the club that night. You know what I mean? To throw. So he definitely that bail is not an issue. I would, that would be crazy to even think that. And I don't know about your state law, but here, $5,000 bail, you only have to pay $500 if I'm not mistaken to get out. So that's not really, an issue. So he did receive a bail, which is still a process. So it's not like he's going to get out right away. He still got what we would call a walkthrough. He still would have to get fingerprinted, see the doctor, take his mugshot. Like it's a whole process. Get his property checked in, to get his property checked back out once he is released, so he got to see the commissioner. Like there's a lot of things that he got to do before he is just released. So I do think he will be released soon. And then it happened on a Monday. Hopefully Vegas moved pretty quick and can get him through the process fairly quick. Now, when I really looked into the situation, I'm like, is Little Baby really like a criminal? Is he moving crazy out here in these streets? So I dug into it a little bit, and Little Baby was only arrested twice from what I could see. He had one arrest in 2019 for failure to signal, eluding police, and reckless driving, right? That was what that arrest was about. So me, I'm thinking like, maybe the officer was just being a butthole, or maybe Lil Baby was being a butthole and forced the officer's hand. Because why are you eluding police? It's not like they said they found drugs in the car or firearms or anything crazy in the car. It's just because he didn't signal and then he eluded police. And of course they're going to throw reckless driving on that. So I'm like, I don't really know the full details behind that, but that's not really a red flag for me. 2 years after that, he did get arrested in Paris. Fancy. But he did get arrested in Paris because they found weed in his car. So I don't know how strict Paris laws are because I've never been. I actually was supposed to go yesterday, but I missed my flight, so I wasn't able to go. But yeah, that was the other charge that he had. So those are the only two charges that I was really able to find on Little Baby. So I'm like, I don't think he's really, out here moving recklessly like that. Which leads me to believe, or leads me to ask the question, why? Like you built yourself up. You are this international celebrity. Why do you feel a need to move like that? Don't throw away everything that you worked for on nothing. If you feel as though you have to carry a gun wherever you're going, don't go. Simple. Find somewhere else to go to. Do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce walk around with firearms? No. They definitely walk around with security though. They look like drivers because they got on tuxedos that probably cost just as much as the car that they driving. But they got blickies up under them coats, trust and believe. But my thing is, hire you a professional security guard. Don't rely on your homeboys. Give them another job. I understand you want to look out for them, but give them another job. Let them wash the cars or cut the grass or let them do something like that. Dog sit and pay them that way. But hire you a professional security guard. And instead of you carrying a gun, let them carry two. They can have one hosted for them on one side and one hosted for you on another side. So every time you take a step, they take a step. That way you can't get in trouble for being in possession of a firearm because your security guard got it. And you need to press the issue. When I move, you move. When I've reached for that burner, I need it to be right there and I need it to be available. You know what I mean? Like, try maybe that technique or something, but you running a risk of throwing away everything to carry a firearm is like, is just I don't see the benefit of it. Now, his lawyers did release a statement and say that he do have a carry permit in the state of Georgia, but Las Vegas do not recognize Georgia's carry permits. And I believe the little baby knew that. And if he didn't know that, I believe the people around him knew that. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar celebrity. So you got some people in connections with you that was probably able to tell you, hey, that permit will not work in, Las Vegas. And the fact that I'm imagining that he was secretly handed this gun in the club. Because if you think about it, if you have, let's say you have a security officer, right, that has a gun holstered on his hip, and he properly takes the gun out his holster and hand it to you, which I think you're supposed to like flip the gun around when you hand it to a person. Y'all let me know in the comments. It's been a long time since I last took that class, so I don't know. But he take it out his holster, he flip it around, he properly hand it to you. That's not going to raise a red flag for anybody. That's just going to look like, you know what I mean, like a safe gun exchange versus to if it was done secretly. You know what I mean? Like if you looking around and you pull it out and then you kind of slide it off to him, that's gonna raise a red flag. Now 911 was emergency. Yeah, they in here passing guns. I don't know what's going on, but they passing guns. You might want to get here and get here quick. And I think it's little baby. They gonna fly there. You know what I mean? So it leads me to believe that somebody knew what was going on. I had a situation to where, though, and don't judge me, I was young. It was my first job, 16 years old, and I felt a cell phone at work, right? And I took a magazine. The cell phone was laying on the counter. I took a magazine, laid the magazine over top of the cell phone, picked the cell phone and magazine up, clocked out for the day, and went home. It was the end of my shift, right, when I found this phone. So when I came to work the next day, I got called into the office, of course. They asked me about the cell phone. I was honest, like, yeah, I found the phone. I didn't know who it belonged to, so I kept it. I didn't know I was supposed to turn it in or that I was doing anything wrong. And the person that I was having that conversation with, he said, well, I would believe you if you didn't put the magazine over top of it. You putting the magazine over top of it and picking it up like that tells me that you knew what you were doing was wrong. And I did two things that day. I learned a lesson and I lost my job. So I'm saying that to say I feel like that exchange between that firearm between Lil Baby and whoever gave it to him had to have looked sneaky in some type of way to raise that type of red flag for somebody to call law enforcement. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm just predicting. So it's allegedly, we could say. His lawyers are on it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he got some good paid attorneys that's going to, get him about this situation. Uh, the charge itself is like a 1 to 6 year uh, jail sentence if convicted. So I don't think little baby is going to necessarily do any jail time behind it. But what scares me is the fact that he can potentially receive a felony charge, which means he can get a felony conviction, which would make him a felon. And that's not good for him. That's not good for his business. That's not good for his brand because you get a lot of guidelines that you have to follow when you become a felon as far as the firearm permit that he do have in Georgia, he's going to now lose that, or he could possibly lose that. He won't be able to travel. You know, he'll have to register as a gun offender. Like, there's a lot of things that will come behind if he get convicted of this charge. So we really don't want that to happen. Hopefully, they can lessen the charge from a felony to some type of a misdemeanor or something like that, so he can kind of get away with it, because he don't seem like he's a bad person. But he is in, what county was he in? I think Clark County, if I'm not mistaken. Clark County Detention Center. Now, y'all let me know in the comments, because I've always heard that Clark County do not play. So I don't want to find out. I never wanted to find out. I don't want to find out about no detention center. But I heard that Clark County do not play. So y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this. If y'all have any updates or any information, excuse me, y'all let me know in the comments. And make sure that y'all like this video for me, and make sure that y'all hit that subscribe button. So in the beginning of the video, I told y'all that I was going to explain to y'all why it's so important. So I'm working towards getting the channel monetized. The first level of being monetized is to receive 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch time hours. So we are really close to our watch time hours. We're literally probably like 700 hours away, and I'm not worried about that. I can do that part. But is the subscriber part. So we have about 403 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, currently. So that's why I need you to subscribe to the channel, so that we can run that number up and we can get the channel monetized, because that's my goal. So y'all hit that like button, y'all hit that comment button, y'all hit that subscribe button, and check out some of my old videos. I do go live almost every day on YouTube, and my lives are fun to me. I haven't got any complaints. Like, the lives are fun and interactive. Every day is something different that we do. It's not always covering celebrity topics. Sometimes we cooking, sometimes we eating, sometimes we playing games. Like, it just all depends on, you know, what's on the agenda for that day. So y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this little baby situation, and I'll see y'all on my next video. All right, y'all have a good one.